Wars fans, did you know we have just 239 days until Christmas 2021? Oh, I choked myself there a little bit at the beginning. But today, we've got a ton of stuff to cover. Of course, I was on vacation last week, and some stuff came out from last week. We'll discuss today because there's been some updates, and we want to just stay current on that. And we're going to talk a lot about what's coming up next week because, as usual, on Thursdays, we have our co-host here, a magic maker from Reimagining Star Wars is with us. Hello! How you doing? This is when you talk. You're muted. Oh, where are you?
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
I can hear you now. Yes, you're Nope, he's gone. He'll be right back. So I do want to cover some channel updates. We continue to grow, and I normally share this on Discord, but I want to share with everybody today. We're up over 1,600 subscribers. Oh my goodness, it's fantastic. We grew over 100 subscribers last week while I was on vacation, and we're now over 2,200 hours of watch time. So we've got about 1,700, just over 1,700 hours to go. And I think next month with the Bad Batch coming out, we're going to get to our 4,000 hour target by the end of the month. At least that's the hope. And we've got other things. We've got some fantastic friends of the channel, some folks who are in our Discord who are going to be contributing to the channel. Darth Elvis, I don't know how many of you may know him. He's a public figure in many of the Star Wars celebration kind of events. He's been a performer, and he is working on a song for the show. Where as soon as we get that, we'll bring him on and we'll introduce him to all of you, and we'll talk about some other things that Darth Elvis is involved with. And then also, we've got another good friend. We did last time there was a big Hasbro event. We brought on Zuvium, and he is going to join us again after the Hasbro event this coming week on Star Wars Day. Hasbro's got a big event. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But he's going to come in as well, and we're going to talk about the event post and what went well, what we're still expecting, and why Santa's still mad because he doesn't have a Quill vintage collection figure. That's hopefully we'll get Quill, but we'll see. And there's Darth Elvis. He's already joined us in the chat. So thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Okay, Second Street Marvel Trinity. He's got to run, but he'll catch us on the replay. Thanks, Trinity. And a Magic Maker, you're back with us. How's it going, my friend?
It's going well. How are you doing? Just finishing up lunch here. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We're quite busy, and it's been kind of a crazy day, and we've got some fantastic content to cover today. So, and I know you have a hard stop at the top of the hour, so we'll get right into it. Let me share the agenda with folks here. We've got a lot to talk about. So yesterday, Kessel Run Transmissions confirmed that Mando Season 3 is already filming. They've been in production now, and that Bryce Dallas Howard is directing, and they expect for Din Djarin to show up in the last or next to last episode of the Book of Boba Fett, leading straight into Mandalorian Season 3, immediately following the Book of Boba Fett. So all of the speculation concerning Mando Season 3 and any production issues they're having, any kind of contract issues they had with Pedro, and the script due to Cara Dune situation, Gina Carano, all that seems to be much smaller than some folks have been reporting. So what are your thoughts on all of that?
Unless she's coming back.
unless Gina Carano is coming back. Well, where would you get that impression?
Oh, it's the silly rumors, rumor mill. Nobody I trust, but I mean it's still there.
Yes, and Hawks Holocron, I did see the message. We'll be sharing that with you in just a little bit, and then I did see. Yeah, Mark and Sheev the Wise. Hey, it's good to have you. And Sheev just started a YouTube channel. He's getting ready to go launch there with. I want to think it has something to do with Vader. Vader's something. I can't remember. He'll post it in the chat, and we'll get that as well. But excited to have Sheev the Wise here. Gray is listening. Gray was involved in a book discussion we had earlier in the week. So if you missed that, check it out on the channel. We went a deep dive into the High Republic novel. And there's a lot more news coming out. So we'll touch base on that again. So it's really exciting to me to see that Mando Season 3 is on track and on schedule with all the rumors that had come out. And, of course, we already gave our buckets of coal to our friends over that we're saying there's going to be no new Star Wars content. And I think we have every proof that they're completely wrong.
Yeah, I think we already kind of threw that one out. We knew that wasn't true.
We certainly did. Vader's
but I will
lair.
say this, though, regarding the starting of work on The Mandalorian. I mean, so what do I really think it is? I think that it doesn't mean there's not rewrites occurring and that they haven't been occurring and not still occurring. What it means is that you go through and make the quick edits you can, and the ones that either don't need the editing or is minor editing, and you start the work on those while you have the opening. And then you try to get all the other stuff done in the window that you have. And if you have to push it, you push it, but that doesn't mean you don't stop working on the ones you can.
That's a really good note. And a lot of us kind of seem to forget. Filming doesn't necessarily go sequential order, right? They don't shoot an episode and then move to the next episode. Many times they're shooting things concurrently on, from multiple episodes on the same day, and then piecing it together in editing. So you're absolutely on point there to say that that's the case. And the cool thing about the volume, the technology they're using to do the work is that they can save the lighting, the scenery, everything, like put save points in. I think we're all familiar with that. So they will put save points in. And so later, when they're ready to come back and continue filming or include different actors or different scenes or do a reshoot, they can just queue up that point and have the exact same conditions they did, say, a month earlier. So it does facilitate doing reshoots and adding in scenes at a later point so that you can work with actors and directors and availability. That's a really, really good point. Yeah. Hey, we've got some new folks coming in. I saw we had a new subscriber, Volcanics Playground. He's a collector. He does toy reviews. Good to have you here. And so we've got, Darth Elvis. Yeah, if they don't announce Quill and a blurg on May 4th, they're definitely getting coal from Santa. And
yes.
My fear is we may only get one, and even probable we might not get any. So there you go. Mark, every time you smash like, Santa gets his quill. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming up, and we kind of need to move through the content. So maybe not as deep as we normally go, but I'm super excited because I think Bryce Dallas Howard is also a fantastic attribute to the franchise. She's an asset. I mean, she's a fantastic asset. And I think what we've seen are that directors from the Mandalorian shows, those episodes are starting to get movies. I haven't seen that Bryce has gotten a movie yet, but I would expect that eventually she may even get a movie or a series that she's completely. I don't know if Mando season 3 is set aside strictly for Bryce, but she may get a spinoff series in like Deborah Chow did, and be able to direct an entire series.
I'm pretty sure Bryce Dallas Howard is not doing the entirety of season 3.
No, because we know that, of course. I'll give you the softball. You ready? We know for sure Rian Johnson's going to be directing some episodes, right?
I don't know if we know that he's going to be directing them for sure. I think that he's suggested it and talked to Filoni about it. I don't know how much of a hand Filoni has in controlling the who's directing though. But I think that sounds like a float to me, where he's like, "Hey, can you talk to Favreau about me getting in there and maybe getting to do some directing there." I actually don't have a problem with that. I mean, as much as I hate Rian Johnson, I mean, I don't have a problem with him coming and directing. He's not writing it, so I think he's a pretty darn good director. I think his view of things. I just don't like his stories. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Oh, there you go. And a lot of people still hold that out against her. So,
yeah.
But that's it's fine. So
yeah, but it's not. But I mean, so my dislike of his writing is not just from The Last Jedi. I think I have a genuine complaint against the other parts of his writing. I mean, if you like what he does, then you like what he does, and if you don't, then you don't. And I happen to fall in the camp that doesn't. I mean, when they picked him for that, and I had seen was it Looper? I mean, I was like okay with Looper. It didn't like make me mad, but I mean, it was like, well, I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's not that bad, but I mean, it was, but it wasn't like Star Wars quality to me. I mean, it wasn't like something that I would be like, oh, we got to give him a Star Wars movie. But I mean, Breaking Bad, those episodes he did of Breaking Bad, he didn't write them, but he did direct them, and they were pretty darn good.
Yeah. I as a fan of The Last Jedi, and I see there's a couple folks in the chat who are also fans of Last Jedi. I'm a big fan of Rian Johnson's work, and I have no problem with it. But I understand the issue in the community as a whole and the controversy associated with anything that he would touch, and it would certainly be something that would get additional scrutiny. And I also see that there's not universal love for Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh, Callisto! Oh my goodness! And Callisto's not alone. I saw where we had a couple of comments in there saying that Irrefutable Comrade, one of our regulars, not his favorite director. So yeah, I don't think she'll be getting the whole season either, but I do think she will end up getting a spin-off series and or a movie. Absolutely, that seems to be the direction they're going, and I think that Bryce Dallas Howard. I love the season 2 episode she did, and the tribute to her dad from Apollo 13 that she included in there was fantastic. I thought it was really, really good. So
yeah, that was where I said throw physics out the window.
Right. Yeah, we've got some of our, and I saw we've got Captain Pennsylvania. Hello, friend. Good to see you here. And Park Outdoors. Thank you all for being here. I do want to bring up the agenda again, and Bad Batch. Bad Batch is coming. There's yesterday, and it's been coming out a little bit, and. It was the one with the Quarren. It was the one where he meets with the he's in
I thought she directed the one where we first meet Bo-Katan.
That's the one we meet Bo-Katan.
Yeah, that was a great episode. I mean, that was really good.
Yeah, the frog lady gets to her husband and all that stuff. Yeah.
The one before that was the one I was complaining about, the physics in Star Wars.
Yeah. So 4 days until the Bad Batch. It's coming. We're in this the first 3 episodes. The thumbnails and the episode titles were already leaked. We're not going to go through them here because I don't want to put any spoilers out that may ruin things for folks. But I am interested.
He says that, but I'm about to go through them right now, so I'm about to spoil it all for you. No, I'm joking.
But we do see the episode lengths. The first one being 75 minutes, and so 75 minutes minus the intro and the credits at the end, we've got a good 70-minute episode of content. That's got to be fantastic. Followed almost immediately, so that's Tuesday. Tuesday we'll be doing that, and then we'll do a reaction video. I plan to do a reaction video on that. Maybe even sneak in a watch party. We'll see. Santa's got lots of stuff going on, so if I can, I absolutely will. But a 70-minute episode, that's wonderful. And there's lots of speculation about what might be in that episode since it's so long.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like too much Star Wars to me.
We're getting close to movie length because Friday we get the second episode and it's a 35-minute. So between the 75 and the 35, those two alone is almost movie length.
That's 105 minutes. That's an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, we're right there. So that sounds fantastic. And I think that first episode might be all the stuff that happened around Order 66.
Yeah. I think we'll see just about everything we've seen in the trailers so far. In that,
yeah,
I think it's going to leave us just fiending for what the next week's going to be.
Yeah, I think it'll be the bulk of it, and of what we've already seen will be in that episode, and certainly by Friday. So between those two episodes, we'll get most of what we've already seen in the trailers. And I've been cautioning folks because I keep seeing people talking about what the show is going to be about or what they want from the show. My caution is I don't think that the Bad Batch is set up to be the Clone Wars Season 8.
No, it's dun 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 dun.
Exactly, my friend. Exactly. It's Space A-Team. We've been saying that here for a long time. Now, will it include some like Clone Wars continuation? Sure, but I don't expect it to have the look, feel, story that just follows along. We've got the Space A-Team. That's what
but I mean, just remember that inside those serials, there's this underlying, really serious story. Even though you have all this levity and people flipping in their cars and then getting out. It looks like all this crazy, silly kind of nobody gets hurt violence. That you see in the A-Team. And I think I'm not saying we'll have that exactly, but I mean we're going to have that kind of thing, levity going on within the Bad Batch, but there's going to be a really serious understory, that's going to go and play out bit by bit by bit by bit through the course of the story. I mean, that's
and I see All New Nerds is here. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to go on their podcast tomorrow afternoon. So look for more information about that. So yeah, I think the Bad Batch, a lot of people kind of just focused in on it being a continuation of the Clone Wars, and I just wanted to caution folks because we see a lot of people set expectations and then get really set off when the expectations aren't met. And there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of commentary out there that are going the direction of it being a Clone Wars Season 8. And I just want to caution folks. I don't think that that's what we're going to get. Look, if it is, I could be wrong. And I would rather be wrong that way than to set the expectation that it is and then be wrong that way. So
I think the main issue that people had with Rebels, though, was the animation style. So, I mean, I think it appears to be the same animation style as Clone Wars, and I think that'll keep most people happy.
Yeah, excellent. And Volcanics Playground, thank you so much. You shout out on his channel. We'll try to link some more to our friends here. And All New Nerds, they're going to put out the podcast on the 2nd. So look for that. So there's the 3rd. He says, sorry, the 3rd. So there's that. Oh wait. Okay. Snoke, is Snoke cloned from Luke's hand? and this is the image I'll bring up. This is where this comes from. Star Wars Meg shared some of it this morning as well. There's in Darth Vader comic episode or issue number 11. They've got this series, so you can see Darth Vader on Exegol, right? These are those statues and all of that. You can see him there on Exegol, and here's the Snoke chamber, and there's Darth Vader, and you can see some of the clones are even just screaming out in pain, all of that. And he says, I used it to make all of these things. I can use it to make anything. And there's Luke's hand. So the thought is, like, he used it to make all of these things. What things? Well, these things. So Snoke is Luke's biological clone. Yeah?
He's Luke.
Which would make him, in some perspective, Ben's uncle in a sort of way.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, again, this is called realigning it to the heir to the Empire series. I mean, it's just something we've been kind of talking about over and over again, that they were aligning this to the heir of the Empire series, and so and if you don't know anything about the heir of the Empire series, it's Thrawn. Thrawn comes back and tries to reestablish the Empire, and who he has as his as the person that to counter Luke is Joris Kaboth or Seaboth, however you want to say it.
Uh-huh.
And then of course he has a clone. He is a cloned Jedi, and then he creates another clone of Luke, with two U's, all right, who fights, whose role it is to defeat Luke Skywalker, and of course that's where we meet Mara Jade and all that, right? And so that's the process in that. So, and then what immediately follows that in Legends, though, is the return of Palpatine as a clone, and that's the Dark Empire series. So if you follow that, you're literally pulling Legends into the Star Wars canon, and that would make sense then why it's called Legends, right? Because it's stories of what it were told wrong from what actually occurred, which we have all the time.
If you go back to Lucasfilm, back even when the prequels were being made, George Lucas retconned a lot of those stories because he brought things in and changed the storyline from those books and comics at the time. And what's happening here is the same thing. They're taking some of the storyline, and it's quite obvious that it's borrowing from that, and it's why now the heir to the Empire series is Legends, and no longer canon. It allows them to use these storylines and kind of different application, but still the same sort of story points involved in the canon. So
right.
In this case, it ties in very similarly. The parallels are quite obvious. That Snoke is a strand cast, as Mark pointed out. He's a strand cast made from, at least partially, the DNA of Luke's hand. That's quite obvious in that comic panel. That's what Darth Vader's talking about. And again, that's this from Darth Vader number 11. It was released just this month. So it's brand new. It's a brand new issue. And
so I think overall what you're going to see is they're trying to build the story of how Snoke came about, and they're just trying to, unlike where Joris was already a clone and was already in existence, and Thrawn found him. The difference is now Thrawn's going to build him. That's the difference.
Yeah, and Olaf, I appreciate the information you keep adding in the chat. It's very helpful for folks. So good on you, man. Thank you so much. And so Olaf's saying the same thing. You are a magic maker. That they're using this information. The prequels did change some of the stuff from the literature at the time as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and then they did the Clone Wars, multimedia stuff, and then the Clone Wars series threw all that stuff out the window. So it's not like the first time Star Wars done that.
exactly. And Peter, I appreciate the question. How many hours are we at? We are at, let me pull it up, 2,281 hours coming into today, 2,281. So we're about 1,700 hours short of reaching our goal. And I think that we will get there by the end of May with the Bad Batch coming out. So I think it's quite exciting to see that, yes, we're getting more of the backstory of Snoke, and it's tying in everything together. So again, we revisit some of this stuff from buckets of coal that we've given out in the past. Perhaps we'll have to give out again in the future, where they say they're retconning the sequels out of existence and they're not going to be there anymore. There won't be canon. My friends, we see that as they keep releasing content, I
think it's totally true. No coal, no buckets of coal.
I think
I think you agree with me, don't you, Santa? Absolutely. Absolutely. See, Santa agrees with me for once.
We're inching towards 5 buckets, my friend.
I heard no buckets. That's what I heard.
We're inching towards 5 buckets.
Oh, and in honor of the fact of Santa agreeing with me, y'all all have to watch this episode at least 3 times to ensure he gets over the 4,000.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we see it here. We saw it, and again in our book review, we talked about the station there in the High Republic is the same one that Snoke uses in the comics as well. So we're tying the High Republic era prequels to the sequel era. We're tying the comics now, the Vader series, which it is during the original trilogy era, into the sequels, and they're just starting to fill out that more and more. So there you go. Peter's willing to make it 4 buckets of coal. Yeah, we're inching closer and closer to 5, Peter. We're oh, that's fantastic.
You're so right, Mark. You figured me out.
There we go. Yeah, I did it. Identity confirmed. So there we go. Snoke
coming to you from the center of the earth.
I saw somebody post that the sequel trilogy, it really becomes a family dynamic with Snoke's involvement, Palpatine, Kylo being a solo Skywalker. Snoke is essentially part Skywalker, and that when you bring Rey in also as a Palpatine. So it really becomes a really close, familiar kind of battle. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting. So to move on, I know we've still got a lot to cover. Maya Erskine, who was is in a Netflix series, but Maya was confirmed to be cast as part of the Obi-Wan Kenobi cast, and the speculation now is, who is she? Who is Maya? What character will she play? Is it a known character? If known, could she be Dr. Aphra? And there's a lot of speculation that could be the case. Now, Dr. Aphra is extremely popular in the comic run. She's got a novel out there as well. I didn't care for the novel all that much. It just wasn't the writing style I enjoy. But the character is profoundly popular. And might we see Dr. Aphra? And I put this in the picture here as well. Might we see her in live action in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, right? And might she then show up? You see here the connection. The reason I put this in, if they introduce her in Obi-Wan Kenobi, might they put her in that other series that's supposed to feature our pilot? What's her name?
Hera
Syndulla, right?
Rangers?
Yeah, Rangers of the New Republic, Hera Syndulla. Might we see her then show up in that series as well? Might that account for the absence of Cara Dune? Might they be rewriting Rangers because the Rangers was supposed to be heavily Cara Dune. It was supposed to be her series, and we knew Hera was probably going to be in it all along. That was the rumors, like it was going to be Hera, but it was going to feature Cara Dune. Might they introduce Dr. Aphra in live action in Obi-Wan so that they can use her as a rewrite in Rangers? What do you think?
I think it's possible. I don't know enough to say no. I think two places, but I definitely think we could see Dr. Aphra in Andor though, as well. If we see her recast or cast also in Andor, then that'll be a good sign that that's who that is. Without that, I don't have any confidence that she's Dr. Aphra.
Yeah. It's. I don't know that she is either. I think again, this is some fan speculation, and we just have to wait to see. And I like your answer there, because if we see she is Dr. Aphra in the Kenobi series, if something comes out saying that is who she is, then we can unleash all the speculation and rumors that we want around her showing up in Rangers and other series as well. That Dr. Aphra will be a prominent figure in the new live action works.
I think we won't get it revealed that she's Dr. Aphra. First, what we'll see is her pop up in the casting for a different show, and then as we see that her being double casted, we'll know she's in a character that will extend between multiple shows, and that'll give us the idea. That'll kind of confirm who she's likely playing, and that would most likely then be Dr. Aphra.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And she's so popular that to bring her into live action in a meaningful way would be great. So I'm absolutely on board for it, but I think it's a little too soon to speculate that is who she's cast. But we'll be watching.
I don't know. I think that Star Wars doesn't need any popular characters.
But I do think they need to be bringing in some of the characters from the written works, comics, and novels into live action, because then you're going to expose them to more audience. So I think that's good. And I see we've had some folks had to leave. McNay, you're the latest. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate your support. So
watch the rest of it later.
Yeah, how old would Aphra be during Kenobi? Because she isn't she young during the time of the OT? She is a free agent used by Vader during the OT.
I think she's probably 30s if I had to guess, in the time of the OT. So she'd be in her 20s if she was brought into Kenobi. That would be my bet.
Yeah. Or even late 20s. If that's the case, then she would be, if she's in her 30s, then it can work. If she's in her late 20s, then it would be very, very young for her to be cast as Dr. Aphra in the Kenobi series. Right.
I mean, you got to think that the time of the Mandalorian, like Boba Fett's only technically 41, I think, at that point in time. No, I think he's a little older, maybe, but he's somewhere in his 40s. And that would also be true of Bo-Katan's also somewhere in her late 40s, early 50s. So and look how good she looks. I mean, of course, the actress is only 41, but I mean, it's point of it is that they're not showing their age. So I think you could completely have a Dr. Aphra in their 20s in Kenobi, and then show up later in the OT in her 30s, and then show up later again in the Rangers of the New Republic in her 40s or early 50s.
Yeah. No, the actress would have to change if you're going to do that, though. Or you'd have to age her up.
No, you just age and de-aging technology.
Yeah. So I like that thought. And Jumpin' Jamie, saying Mara needs to show up. Now, there was some early speculation that perhaps Mara was the Emperor's hand who rescued Grogu, but I don't think that's going to be the case. We heard that the person's a popular Jedi. The speculation we talked about before is we're almost certain that's going to be one of two people, and probably Mace Windu. That's the leading horse in the barn, in the stable. The second would be Yoda. So it's going to be one of those two, I think. But Mara Jade showing up would be really good. I think really good to bring her in from Legends, even if it's in a different way. If they're bringing in so much stuff from the Heir to the Empire anyway, why not?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the famous Jedi rumor, right, that saved Grogu.
Yeah.
And so we kind of narrowed it down that it probably had to have been Mace Windu that saved Grogu, just because of everything. Couldn't have been Yoda. It couldn't have been Obi-Wan. So that means it probably had. When we walked through all the things, I'm not saying I went through it right now, but we already did this 3 episodes ago, where we kind of walked through this and we determined it was more likely than not it was Mace Windu. Yeah,
I think by far he's the leading candidate,
which means he survived. And now the rumor is that Mace Windu is going to show up in the Book of Boba Fett, and so now we have another rumor of his appearance. So if we see that he's saved, and the Bad Batch probably will answer this, that he's still alive, and if we find out he's still alive, then that's probably going to confirm the Book of Boba Fett rumor that he shows up.
Yeah, and you would say, well, let's just watch Samuel L. Jackson really closely, but Mark Hamill was able to sneak in and get filmed, and although I did call that last season before the season started, just for record, I had Mark Hamill as the surprise person that was going to show up to get Grogu, and nobody was able to confirm that he ever showed up. They kept that under wraps, so we could absolutely have Samuel L. Jackson already have shot the scenes. He could already be part of that. So, and just nobody saw. So I do think we're going to see him.
Yeah. The contract for Luke was already out there. Him allowing his likeness to be used for CGI, and so that had been done. I just didn't think they could get it done that quickly, because it was released in August that the contract had been signed, and then bam, we had it there in December. So I was like, that's why I kind of was leaning off of that being Luke. I mean, where's all this outside information would coming in. So I was like, I'm going to lean away from it, just because it's happening so fast, and we know that it was already complete prior to this thing, but to that contract. So it means that they really did rush it through. And that means they may have had an alternate ending, if you think about it.
Well, not only that, but we know that during the filming that they never saw Mark Hamill on set.
Right.
He just wasn't. He wasn't on set doing. And there was even that Dave Filoni had kind of alluded to the point that it was going to be Master Plo Koon who showed up.
He got shot down. I didn't think he survived his.
No. But Katie Sackhoff believed it was going to be Plo Koon, because that's who Dave Filoni was alluding to. And they were like, oh, okay. What? And when they saw that it was Mark Hamill and it was Luke Skywalker, like when they filmed it, they didn't know who it was. They were assuming it was Plo Koon. They didn't know. So that's very funny.
Uncle Bob!
Bob's your uncle. He's here. Bob, thanks for joining us today. Good to see you again. We didn't want to believe it was the only possibility. Sure. And I saw the rumor that Liam Neeson is Qui-Gon Jinn in Obi-Wan, and we think that's going to happen as well.
Yeah, I think that's a definitive one, though, for sure.
Yeah. So that's a lot of subterfuge there.
I believe that rumor. Completely believe that rumor.
Yeah. Well, in pop culture, opossum. You would know about playing dead, right? Opossums. But anyway, Plo Koon could survive if Boba, Maul, and Palpatine. Right nobody's dead until you absolutely incinerate the corpse and see it disappear. Otherwise, maybe they're not.
Right. No one dies in Star Wars.
Well, that's even those that do come back as Force ghosts. That's how that works. So yeah, Plo Koon could absolutely have been there, but I don't think that was the case. So
so you think we'll see Palpatine in Episode 10?
Oh no. Although I do think we will see Palpatine coming up in some of the other live action series, because
absolutely.
he is very much in the works. So that could absolutely happen. Sure. Let's go on.
It's Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's the one.
So Maya Erskine,
I mean, he was only shot like maybe 300 or 400 times. I mean, he'd be all right, right?
Well, what's that other lady's name that has died 3 times?
It's totally Shakti. Totally.
Shakti.
Totally
Shakti was it. Shakti was the one. She'll be the one that saves Grogu for sure. Shakti, she's a well-known Jedi. I mean,
she meets the thing. We never technically saw her die.
Shakti is it. You heard it here first. We know that Shakti is the one that saved.
And in fact, she ends up being in Rangers of the New Republic. She's the Jedi portion of that, and she'll end up meeting up with Ahsoka, and they'll be like, "I hadn't seen you in such a long time! Wow, so exciting!"
Hey there, Jack. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, we talked about Maya Erskine. We don't think there's enough evidence to say that she is Dr. Aphra. It's complete speculation at this point, and we'll watch very closely to see what happens. So the next is the Hasbro Fan First Tuesday, May 4th. That is, they have a lot of toys they're going to release. And let me just share here, there's a bunch of other things that somebody shared with me just before we came on the show on our Discord. StarWars.com is listing a bunch of May 4th deals. And so prepare your wallets. I know Mark Hamilton, he's already got his Visa in the freezer, getting it nice and cool because he'll be melting that thing come May 4th, spending all his money. But we have a bunch of other stuff to spend money on here as well. Some really good deals. Amazon's got a Lego Razor Crest on sale. We've got playing cards. Some of this is pretty minor stuff. I love these. Look at that. These are bitty boomers, little speakers, right? Little Bluetooth speakers. How cool is that? And there's the Build-A-Bear Grogu is going to be 20% off. We've got a bunch of kids wearing stuff, but there's some good stuff down in here. Look here. So we just did the review of this book, High Republic Into the Dark. You can find that on our channel. We did it earlier this week with Gray and a couple other guests. That's going to be on sale for 99 cents. Look there, 99 cents on May 3rd through the 7th. So a good chance to pick up that novel really, really cheap. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. You don't have it yet. Come on now.
I do. I have it on audio. I just haven't listened to it.
Oh, okay. There you go. So it keeps going on. There's all kinds of great stuff in here. So you can just kind of go through it. StarWars.com has this stuff listed. You can see what they have on sale. And we know also there's going to be lots of stuff from Hasbro coming out that day. Lots of stuff to find. That'll be a lot of fun. Here's what else I want to get to. The comics and graphic novels, 50% off. 50% off the comics and graphic novels. So like that's Vader. That Vader comic, issue number 11, you might be able to get it 50% off. So there's some great buys to be had there as well. Good chance.
I think the graphic novels are always a good investment when it comes to Star Wars. The art's really good, and it's just nice to have. Typically they're hardback, and so I got the prequels and graphic novels, and even with my complaints about the prequels, they're really good, and I really enjoy them. I enjoy having them. Highly recommend it.
Very good. Yes.
You know what? I complain a lot about Star Wars for loving it so much.
I think a lot of us do. So anyway, check out StarWars.com. They've got quite a bit there to meet all kinds of different fan interests and tastes. So, and again, we'll be covering that live here, the Hasbro event. It's 11, I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern on May 4th. So we'll cover that. And then following that, we'll get on with Zuvium. We had him on last time after the event. We had a blast talking about that. So look for more information on that timing as we get it locked down. It'll be I'm really, really excited for it. And then the next is the Disney Lucasfilm announcements. There's some speculation that Lucasfilm will be coming out with a bunch of content releases, maybe some trailers for, say, Obi-Wan or other things that are in the works. Mando season 3, we might get little teasers for those kind of things. So it should be an exciting day. We might get a couple of other announcements. So stay tuned for when we might see that scheduled.
Yeah, we're gonna get it announced that Rian Johnson's trilogy is officially on.
Oh, you never know, but I think we will.
Too much to the chagrin about half the fans in Star Wars.
We'll talk about this in just a second because I saw another comment here. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I would love to see a couple of teaser reels for, say, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Mando 3, and maybe some announcements about the scheduling of other projects that we've heard rumors of. There's one series that we've not seen any confirmation of yet. Kessel Run Transmissions kind of shared it over a month ago that there's a Thrawn Ezra series going to be announced. Perhaps we'll get that officially announced from Lucasfilm on the 4th as well. Is there something specific you're excited for to hear from Lucasfilm?
I just don't believe there's going to be a Thrawn Ezra series. I don't. But I would like to see some trailers for the upcoming ones. I'd like to see a trailer for Obi-Wan. I'd like to see a trailer for Ahsoka. I'd like to see a trailer for specifically Boba Fett. I think that should drop. I mean, we should have at least a teaser trailer, right? That makes it go, holy moly.
Yeah, I'm thinking some teasers. I don't know that we'll get a full-on, trailer, but we might get some teasers. Might see some stuff like little set photos or clips of them on set waving at the camera, hi, and that kind of thing. But that would be a lot of fun.
I think you could have put together a 30-second teaser trailer by now.
I would hope. But
I would think so. Make us go.
They've let us down in the past. I'm just again. I don't know how willing I am to jump all the way in for big hopes around that. So
I'd like to have a face reveal where I'm crying on my video because of the Book of Boba Fett. I'm sorry, whoever that guy was. I'm sorry.
No, really. No, look, Star Wars Theory. Star Wars Theory got. Oh, you mean the other guy? Yeah. I know who you meant.
Not really. I'm not really sorry. I still like to make fun of people.
Eli Vanta. That would be great. Oh, look, Star Cabal's here. Star Cabal's been trying to schedule something between myself and Drunk 3PO and him on his channel. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But on the 4th or the 5th, something like that. So we'll see. Hopefully Star's able to get that. Star Cabal is able to get that scheduled. There was the question up here, and I don't know how much you've stayed with it. Olaf Van Ness. Did Nick or Coach from Echo Based Network contact me? They did, in fact. They did. And Olaf, you might be the person I talked with. Coach, I've been in communication with him several times, and they're have a series on can the fandom be united, or can we heal the fandom? And I reached out to them to say, hey, would you be interested in having me on? If you're not familiar with Echo Base Network, They are more of the Fandom menace types. They're very critical of the sequels. No fan at all of the sequels, and of course I love the sequels. So the thought is to get some folks of different opinion on there. I reached out to Coach. He replied back and said that he had heard from some of his folks that he could check us out and that I had a good reputation. So Olaf, that might have been you. And thank you so much.
I'm going to come on on their stream just so I can badmouth you the entire time.
Yeah, haze me from the audience.
Haze you from the audience.
But they're coming on. We're planning to do it next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after. So that's when it's currently planned. We'll see if that comes off. I think that would be the 8th, if I'm right on the date. So we're currently planning to do that. And then there was I saw a comment earlier about thoughts on the theory drama. Jack asked. So have you kept up with that at all?
No, I mean I'm aware of it. I typically try to disconnect from those kind of things.
Yeah. And I see Super Saiyan is in the chat. Good to see you, Super Saiyan. I think that look, Theory had him on the following day. There was a little dust up when Levi Bond came onto his show Monday and kind of got him fired up. Stepped a bit on a raw nerve, and Theory really unloaded on Levi and kicked him off the show. And then right after that.
But you can do that when you have almost 3 million subscribers.
Well, sure. But Levi reached out to him, apologized, and Theory brought him back on. They had a very nice, clearing the dust up, and I think they're on good terms now. I had Levi on my show in the book review. Very well-versed young man, and added a lot to our discussion of the High Republic. Very, very smart young man, and who made a mistake and didn't read the room well. Kind of came in hot and paid the price. So, what do I think of that whole dust up? I think that Theory had some raw nerves, and I put this on one of the Discord chats. I think Theory gets a little bit of sense of what George Lucas was going through during the prequel era. George was putting out a passion project, the prequels. He loved the content he was putting out, and we had fans who loved it and fans who hated it, and it divided the fandom. And I think it kind of put George in a rough framework. And any human being who has to deal with those kind of reactions is going to have some struggle with it. It's a tough thing to deal with when you've got 3 million subscribers. Let's just round up. You got 3 million subscribers, and the amount of information or criticism that Theory gets from part of the fandom, and the amount of praise he gets from others, and then you get people going out and fighting each other over, as like.
Oh yeah, I totally should have been had to pick a side.
Oh my goodness.
So we could fight over that. I didn't even think about that.
But people get all worked up about it, and then they go out and they fight the fight on his behalf. And then and he never asked them to do that, but then everything gets latched back to him, and he's just a fan. And he's put out that great Vader fan film, and he's got he's the biggest YouTube channel in the world, and so I'm sure he gets lots of it. And so he was a little blindsided by Levi coming in. He already had a sore spot on it, and he vented at Levi. But then they made up. And then I saw Levi did go on yesterday with Star Cabal, and Levi's made some amends in the community. So please check out Levi's channel. He's here in the chat there, or at least his channel's been here in the chat, and go check him out. You're going to be on your A game at Echo Base. I look forward to talking to them. I look forward.
He has to deal with me. He'll be on the game.
So anyway, that's the news there. Let's kind of wrap up here We've got Muppet'casting. We've been going through, those who are new here today, we've been going through all of the Star Wars movies and shows and Muppet'casting them. Santa is a horrible...
Muppalorian. Just say it right out. It's the Muppalorian.
The Muppet'lorian. Yeah.
Muppalorian. No
Muppalorian.
Muppalorian.
Yes, the Muppalorian. We've been going through all of the movies and we got up and I put on the YouTube poll, asked, what should we do next, The Mandalorian or The Force Awakens? We're going in chronological order. So they said The Mandalorian. And so we have been having a great time. This is something we do on our Discord channel. Let me bring it over and share this. We've been discussing it on the Discord channel. I pinned the Discord channel on the chat here. But you guys are fantastic. Santa is absolutely terrible at fan casting, and I thought, well, there was the news when the Muppet Show was made available on Disney Plus, and so you guys have done a great job in fan casting. Here we've got the Mudhorn Snuffleupagus as I thought that's great. We got the Snuffleupagus as the Mudhorn. And I put Janice as the armorer, and then here's Bunsen as Dr. Pershing, Waldorf as the client. So that's great. You guys have done a great job. Link has to be Cobb Vanth. He's got that perfect hair. You know, Cobb Vanth had really good hair. So Gonzo, I got to get all the way to the top. You guys, we still have some of this that needs. Here we got Gangster Kermit as Grief Karga. Oh, I love it. I love it. And of course, Piggy has to be Cara Dune, right? She's the strongest there. Cannonball Gonzo is the Mandalorian. He's got the crash helmet and the cape. The Gonzalorian. The Gonzalorian. These are just awesome. Muppet Baby Robin is Grogu. Is that perfect or what? So, you guys have done a great job on Discord of doing the Muppet casting. So, and I love that the thought was, well, you know, Mark Hamill did appear on the Muppet Show as Luke Skywalker. So why not have that same sort of guest appearance and have Mark Hamill himself play Luke Skywalker? Oh, there's a precedent. I think that's fantastic. Cast him as Luke. He shows up, and then same thing. That's really good. And some of you here in the chat, you're putting them in as well. So join us on Discord. This is, again, a request to join us on Discord. And here we had Sweetums be like Paz Vizsla. Put a rocket pack on him. Moff Gideon. So you guys are doing a great job. It's a lot of fun to talk about. Here's Cara Dune, Miss Piggy again. So join us on Discord for that. And then I do want to advertise again that I just started reading the new Thrawn novel. And anybody that's interested in joining like a book club, a review, a discussion on that Thrawn novel, hit us up in Discord. We'll probably do some live chats, open up a voice chat stream and talk about the Thrawn novel as we work our way through. We've had some people already contact me and say, yes, I'm in. So if you would like to do that with us, please let me know. Join our Discord and find the Star Wars Santa channel there and say, hey, I'm in too. So we'll start that right away. Jimmy, are you going to be on Nerd Theory again? I was invited this last week, Jimmy. So I may be invited again this coming week. I know they're trying to rotate some people in and out, but because I wasn't there last week, they may bring me in this week. But I am part of that Nerd Theory Council as a whole, and I get regular invites to the shows. And sometimes it just doesn't work with my schedule. Sometimes I'm not able to attend. But thank you for asking, and I do look forward. I really do like Theory. He's a great guy, and I feel like we have a really good relationship, even though we've only spent a little bit of time together, but that's really, really good. Yeah, Spencer, I saw you said you were interested in the Thrawn. I saw that. So join Spencer and I, and we'll talk about that Thrawn novel. We're right up against the hour, and I know Magic Maker, you've got to go.
I got to run. And
let me you say goodbye and
talk to you all later. If you want to come to my channel, I'm sure it's linked in the bottom. And we do try to do fan fiction readings, though I haven't been able to do it the last 2 weeks. I'm in the middle of moving, and I got all other stuff going on, so it's been kind of crazy. So anyway, we should be having it this Sunday, so I look forward to seeing you there. And with that, I got to run. May the force be with you.
We'll see you. Take care. And Callisto, I'm starting Ascendancy tomorrow. What channel on Discord? Come into the Star Wars Santa channel and let me know you're in. I will make announcements in there when we will have the discussions, and we'll plan them together. And we may go ahead and open up a specific channel for the Thrawn Ascendancy book panel. Book discussion, and we'll do that there in Discord as well. And anybody, again, who's interested in joining, please let me know. It'll be fantastic. We'll have a lot of fun. And thank you, Ducky. I appreciate the support. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. I appreciate it. You guys are great. All of you are wonderful. We're now next Tuesday, Star Wars Day, is going to be huge. I've got a full-time job, but they're going to be full-time content on Tuesday. So I may have to kind of rework my work schedule so I can come on. I would love to do a live stream on the Bad Batch season opener, and a reaction. Maybe we'll do a watch party together in the middle of the night, early in the morning, and then do a reaction video after that. We'll be covering the Hasbro live event live as it comes out, and then we'll also do a post event with Zuvium. He's a good friend. We've made great contact, and the last event, we'll do that again this event, and we'll find out if Hasbro gives Santa what he needs. So I need my vintage collection quill, and I need a vintage collection Blurg. I have to have those. I really need it. So we'll see if Hasbro gives me one or the other. Both would be great. My fear is I'm going to get none. Based on some of the early leaks that are out there, some of the rumors that are out there, it's not looking good for Santa, and I'm really worried. We'll find out. Then otherwise, I do want to cover the Lucasfilm announcements, given that they do have any. I suspect they will. We're anticipating they will. We'll cover those, and then we also have then just a wrap up of the day. So we'll try to be on quite a bit on Star Wars Day, followed then by Friday, episode 2 of The Mandalorian. Look for me to be on the All New Nerds. We'll be doing a podcast with them, Echo Base Network, next Saturday, the 8th. And then we have a couple other kind of collaborations in line, including Star Cabal with Drunk 3PO that he's trying to get planned. So all of you, really, really appreciate you all being here. I hope you have a fantastic remainder of the day. We'll be back again tomorrow. I've got some toy reviews to do. We're going to appear with Everyday Geeks. We're going to talk about some stuff there with Stormy, and I'm getting scheduled for yet another event as well. So look for lots to come from Star Wars Santa coming up. It's going to be a busy, busy week. I really, really appreciate all your support. You guys are fantastic. Oh, there you go. Mark just made us a Santa's Star Wars book club and Discord. So you guys join us there in Star Wars Santa's book club, and we will discuss different books. But right now it'll be Thrawn Ascendancy, the newest novel that just came out. And thank you all again. I'm so thankful for this community. I'm thankful for all of you, and it's great to be back from vacation and get a visit with you. And until tomorrow, my friends, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you. Take care. Bye-bye.